What's going on, y'all? Harry from Harry the Horse Barbecue here, and in this one, I am not horsing around with this crispy skin pork belly. We're gonna season up a skin-on pork belly in the most simple way possible, salt the skin and smoke it off on the Weber kettle until it takes on some amazing smoke flavor, crisp up the skin over those hot coals on the kettle, and then we will crunch on into one of the best bites in barbecue. Looking for some hoodoo brown style pork belly? Well, the horse has got your back. Let's get it.
Harry the Horse Barbecue.
If you're looking to take your smoked pork belly game to the next level, then try crispy skin pork belly on the Weber kettle. Now, after celebrating 10 years of barbecue with Hoodoo Brown and hanging out with my guys over at Brisket Department at this event, I am feeling inspired to recreate a classic Hoodoo Brown recipe, the crispy skin pork belly. Now, I already have an amazing crispy skin pork belly video that y'all could check out. And shout out to Wilson's Barbecue. Dave beat me to the punch on this one, but he has an awesome crispy skin pork belly video on the Weber kettle. So make sure you go check out his channel, but I'm gonna do it just a wee bit differently, so let's stop horsing around. So in order to make this crispy skin belly, we need to go shopping for some pork, and let's go. That'd be a pork belly. Now, as per usual, I picked up this skin on belly from my guys over at Marbled Meat Shop, but this pork is of unbeatable quality, so enough horsing around, let's get this belly out of the pack. I mean, that is just a great looking pork belly, center cut and skin on, which is what we need for crispy belly. Now, literally, there is nothing to do here. If you want to season this up with your favorite barbecue rub, keep the rub off the skin and just season the underside. I did that previously in my last crispy skin pork belly video, but to just let this belly speak for itself and really stick to the traditional Hoodoo Brown style, you could just throw this on naked or just hit it with a little kosher salt. So that's what I'm going for today. Just simple, crispy, and tasty. And that's literally it. This is possibly the easiest crispy skin pork belly video you'll ever find. Butcher did all the trim work, and all you need is some salt. So this process is just not horsing around. And just like that, this skin on pork belly has been generously coated in kosher salt, and it's ready for that crispy skin. So this pork belly's all seasoned up, and it's ready for the cooker. So let's go fire up the cooker. Our 1970s Weber kettle. Only the finest Fogo. Hoodoo Brown uses kiln-dried white oak, so I'm going in with my own white oak. And also a singular snake nest. Good enough to get our coals started. Sweet. These coals are heating up. Let's get that belly on. And on our belly goes, skin side up. That looks pretty darn good. And you cannot forget the most important step, and that is to salt the entire top of this belly. We really need to protect the skin. So this salt is gonna help dry out the moisture, protect the skin so it doesn't get rubbery and smoky. And I know it looks like a lot of salt. And you might be saying, oh, Mr. Horse, you're gonna oversalt that belly. And just like a horse is a horse, of course, you know we're not oversalting this belly. And if you're curious at home, I'm just using regular Morton salt. You could use iodized salt, anything that's a fine granule size that'll completely cover the entire skin. And our salted belly is ready to smoke away for the next handful of hours. We're ideally gonna rock temps around 250 degrees and let this belly pick up a ton of smoke flavor and really render out that fat. Now I've got the vent on the lid about a quarter of the way shut. The vent directly underneath the coals is about halfway open. So at this rate, I'm done talking about this belly and I'm ready for it to be crispy. So all we gotta do is close it down. Boom, shakalaka. All right, y'all, we've been smoking on this kettle for about 5 hours now, and it's time to take a peek at this belly because I literally haven't done anything except for add a little bit of wood over the last 5 hours. We've been steady rocking at about 250 degrees, but right now it's peaking at about 280 or so. So I think it's just about crispy skin belly time. Flames are looking crazy, but this belly is looking really good. This belly has shrunk up considerably, and when I told y'all the only thing I did was add a little fuel to the fire, I accidentally knocked the grate into the salt layer, so I had to piece it back together, and I sprinkled some more salt on top just to help protect it. So if we take an internal, it's looking like we are about in the 170s. The pockets of fat are a lot hotter than where the meat is, so now is the part for the crispy skin belly. At this point, you could take the belly and throw it right into the oven at about 325, 350 degrees, let that skin crisp up. But right now for this crispy skin belly, I've got a little neat Weber kettle trick for y'all. Whoa, I've got a little raised rack from S&S. Now shout out to my guy Jabin Postal and the rest of that crew over at S&S Grills. Now S&S did send me this rack for free to test out, and I thought crispy skin would be the way to go. If y'all want to check out any S&S products, I do have an affiliate link in the description down below. If you do use the affiliate link, I will get a little bit of a monetary kickback for the channel, help support the crispy skins around here. So let's finally put this raised steel rack to the test. Now I think I have a good amount of coals down here that will help crisp up the skin without burning the belly too much. So I believe I just place the rack over the handle like that, and then the front legs will just lay into place. I'm gonna have to lift this belly up. It's feeling pretty tender. Slide that salt off. I mean, at this rate, just check out the skin of this belly. Hopefully y'all can see that. And that belly is a perfect fit on that raised rack, and those flames are starting to kiss the fat, which means I gotta close this down before I start a grease fire and burn that fat cap that we're trying to crisp up. Boom. This process is very similar to making a direct heat crispy skin pork belly. I knocked the coals down in the slow and sear just a little bit to give us a little bit more room between the skin of the pork belly and the coals. So the fat from that belly should drip down onto those coals, creating some amazing fat smoke, and the heat of the coals should crisp up that skin in no time. So if you've been with me throughout the last 6 hours of this crispy skin belly cook, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all for some crispy skin, lickety split, and then we're off to the races. Whoopsie daisy. Just like I said, I didn't want to burn this. It turned out to be a little crispy, chef. Now, not to make any excuses because clearly I'm the one cooking this, but there was a number of factors that led to some crispification of the skin. One, it's like 90 plus degrees outside. My camera keeps overheating. So every time I'm trying to get a shot, a close up, and I'm trying to talk, the camera just shuts off. So the belly was sitting above some of those flames for a little too long. Also, when I turned that belly over, fat was just pouring out of this belly. So I had a little bit of a grease fire going, but all in all, that raised rack from S&S works great. It gives you enough distance above the coals, as you can see, with part of the belly that's not toasty, and you can use that rack to turn your Weber kettle into a small direct heat cooker. Sounds pretty good to me. This belly hit an internal of about 205 or so we should have some fatty, tender belly, some crispy, crunchy skin. All we gotta do is let this rest. I'll meet y'all back in about 45 or so. And just like how my mom used to scrape the burnt parts off our bread, sorry mom, but you know you used to burn the bread, I made this pork belly skin look a whole lot better. All I did was take a knife and scrape off the burnt parts. Really no big deal. You can come back from that pretty easily. But this belly is smelling sweet. So why don't we check it out? Why don't we go down the center first? Oh, I think we got some crispy skin. I think that's looking pretty darn good if I do say so myself. Nice little smoke ring, super crisp on top, smelling like chicharron. And just like over at Hoodoo, I'm going to make a bunch of cubes. Goodness gracious, that is a pretty looking cube of crispy skin pork belly. I'm salivating. I gotta go in for it. It was just melting in your mouth. Oh my gosh. I mean, these little belly bites are not horsing around. That Weber kettle can literally do anything. It can do all the traditional grilling you might be used to, but it can also do these specialty cooks like crispy skin pork belly. That's insane. This crispy skin pork belly on the Weber is so good, I just can't stop. It's just ultra crispy. You've got the salty, fatty, succulent nature of that pork belly that could be a little overwhelming in those fattier sections, and then that skin comes in to save the day. Pork belly is one of those cuts that really benefits from having textural differences, so that crispy skin just comes in and it's crunchy, it's a little charred, it's a little smoky from that fat smoke, and it's got just the slightest bit of salt, even though we covered it completely in salt, and it just creates one of the most balanced and decadent bites in barbecue, no doubt. I'd say she's crispy. Hold your horses. This crispy skin belly is ridiculous. You could just pop the skin off and crunch away. And even though we smoked this off on the Weber kettle, that smoke flavor is perfect. It doesn't taste like that smoldery kind of wood smoke. At this point, I don't know what to tell y'all except for stop horsing around and make this already. Thank y'all for tuning in to Harry the Horse Barbecue. I really appreciate you checking out this video. Make sure you subscribe for the vibes, hit that like for this crispy skin, and leave a comment down below with how I can improve my crispy skin game. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I'm posting new content, and you can follow me on Instagram at Harry the Horse Barbecue. Tag me so I can see what y'all are cooking because y'all inspire these cooks. And with that being said, there's only one more thing, y'all. This one is going straight to the horse's mouth. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. I'm taking this portable pork cube to go.